What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about how this card show went, and boy, it was everything plus more that I could have dreamed of. I guess we'll just jump right into it and just tell you guys how it went. Based off the title, you can see that it was great, and it was some huge success that happened there. But we'll dive into that here in a second, and I'll tell you all about how I did it. So the preparation, I had that video that I posted. The preparation and nights before I was organizing bulk, sorting through cards, and just doing so much beforehand that I wanted to make sure there's options. Okay, it's the first show, it's the first time of me going out and showing what I got to the community, right? And it was nice because it was a smaller card show, and you know, not many vendors were there, so I had plenty of room to be flexible and to talk to pretty much anybody that walked through the door. So that was really nice. But the preparation just consisted of, you know, hours of organizing bulk, sorting through different binders just to make sure it was perfect and to see what's gonna be moving, what's gonna be selling around here. And it's exactly what I thought would move. And the stuff that I spent the most time organizing sold the least. So for example, the bulk, I don't think I sold a single ounce of the bulk that I sorted through. I pretty much just had 3 of these big card boxes and then sorted them by type, which is really nice for people who are looking for specific cards. So I don't think that's the end of that. But for these smaller shows, it probably won't be something that I bring again, because once I get to the morning of and how that went, I'll tell you exactly what the struggles were for that. But it was super chill. It was super nice to have that stuff there, and I filled up 2 tables pretty well. Really because of the bulk. I mean, if I didn't have any of that, it would have been, you know, 1 table, and I could have just, you know, maybe played a game at the other table or something. I don't know. But we had plenty of stuff to fill up the table, so that was really nice. So I don't think the bulk was a total L, but it was nice to be there. So that's kind of the prep work that happened to get there. The night before, I really didn't get much sleep. I was pretty excited to do this because I don't know, it's just something I like doing and something I love talking about. And you know, as I go through this, I can tell you all the people that came in who liked Pokemon would talk to me for, you know, I would probably run my mouth a little too much to them, but it was really fun because we, you know, sharing a hobby interest with someone else is just super awesome, and I'm sure you guys have experienced that all the time as well. So that's kind of the night before. Didn't get much sleep. But I was pretty much ready to go. Had everything packed up, so I didn't have to do too much in the morning. And in the morning of happened, and woke up just fine. None of that was a problem. But there was a few things that was a struggle, and the biggest struggle was actually carrying my big box. And I think it's still right here, it's still kind of packed up. That bin was full of cards, and you know, going back to talking about the bulk, it not selling and then me having to lug it into the show itself was pretty brutal. So I think for next time, if I do that, I'm definitely going to invest in some sort of cart that I can pull and move, just because it's so heavy. And you know, if I walked any further than when, like, luckily from the parking lot to the room itself was not too far, and I had actually my cousin who runs the show, actually, which was another huge blessing and huge. I was hugely thankful for that, very thankful for that, because he helped me a ton and carried some stuff in for me, so that was nice. But getting it to the car was just bad. It was also really icy that morning, so our ground was still a little slick, and in some spots were both icy and muddy, so it was that kind of gross combination. But you know, really heavy stuff, and yeah, just thinking about next time. I don't really have the guns that I used to have, or I really ever had. Haven't really worked out much, but maybe that'll be something on the list for next time. And then bringing that stuff in, getting set up was just super chill. Again, having the fact that I have a relative running the show and just chilling there with me the whole time just made me feel so much more comfortable. And I couldn't imagine if it wasn't somebody that I really knew, I'd probably feel a little less comfortable, but still do my thing, you know. That was just a big bonus that I like to talk about, because having those connections is just huge. And I'll talk about those connections here really shortly once I get to the show itself. But getting set up, you know, super easy. I put a little tripod action down on my phone, and here's another little tricky thing that I came into, was that if I would comp things, I had my iPad there so I could type things in, but I love the comp on my phone because it's so much easier. It's just so much quicker too. But with iPad or with like an laptop, you can just get it set up and ready to go. But with that, you have to go back to it every single time. And you know, I had my cards kind of sitting here, and over on the bulk table was my iPad, so it's just a little further away. And so sometimes I'd end the stream, because I did stream a little bit of it, which, you know, I just need to invest in a bigger, taller tripod there. But it was nice to just have that so you could see the transaction. So if I ever have questions about it, you can go back. So there's more for myself. But I'll post some of that here and kind of chop it up so you guys can see exactly what I was talking about. And again, that'll be sweet. But the show itself, now, you know, I had people walking in. We had people walking in before the show even started. And again, all these people who walked in, let me think. I think at least like 80% were people that knew. Obviously, they knew about the show, but they knew about what my cousin did. They knew about him. They knew about his shop, and he's a shop that's really close by. So they would come in, they say hey to him, and then they come to me because they were looking for Pokemon stuff, and I had a lot of that to offer. And then being one of the only people with singles and stuff there was super nice, because there was only a couple vendors. There was supposed to be a lot more, but just with there just being a couple, it was just, you know, super beneficial for me because I had a lot of sales actually. Because with it being a smaller show, there's less vendors to look around at. So if people want Pokemon, there's a couple different vendors that had Pokemon, but then I had quite a bit of it ready to go, and a lot of people came to me, and I had some Japanese product that flew off the shelf. So I was talking about before with the bulk, how it didn't really sell. The things that sold the most and that were highly sought after were the Japanese product, was the Japanese boxes, specifically the newest set, the Terrestrial Festival set. That's just a no-brainer. The other boxes, I sold one Super Electric Breaker, the Surging Sparks in Japanese. Sold that kind of later down the line. But that stuff was just flying off. People wanted it, and then a good chunk of my singles sold. A good chunk as in, like, you know, let's see, I think like 4 or 5 things from the big case, from the money cards, and then a bunch of stuff from the smaller binders that I had. I had like a $1 binder, I had like a $1 to $10 binder, and then those things were a pretty big hit too. And a lot of chit-chatting, just chatting it up. It was super awesome. But yeah, so that was kind of the whole show. People coming in and out, got some nice trades in, got a lot of trades actually. And I like to be pretty generous with my trades, especially if I know I can move it, or like it's like a hot card. I usually give people, you know, I give people close to what it's worth, you know, with someone just coming in saying, hey, take my card, give me some money. I usually give about like 70-75% cash, basically just what I've seen online and what other people do. And with me myself, I probably should try to buy a little less, not only to increase my margins, you know, that's what people try to do, but simply for my own wallet, because buying cards was a big hit there, and was more of a hit to trade than it was to actually buy things and sell things. And it was kind of a mix of both as well. There was some trade plus money, there was some money plus trade, there was some just like good chunk of just money, but it was all over the place, which is really cool. So being able to be flexible is great. And morning of, just, you know, having all that cash due just at hand so I could do those trades made it super easy, so people didn't have to just use Venmo, just use PayPal. So just being flexible was super nice. And then wrapping up the show, same thing, pack stuff away. We sold a couple boxes, so that was less weight that I had to carry out to my car, packed that stuff away, and then made some sick connections, because now we have stuff inside of my cousin's shop, because he didn't know I did all this Pokemon stuff. I don't know why he never asked. But now we have some product in his store that he takes just a small portion of it, but I get this nice spot in his store where people can go in and buy it. And so I'm doing literally nothing, sitting back on my butt while things sell in his shop. Which that's just a dream come true, right? Just being able to get the product, put it in his store, people want it, and then sell it that way. So we're definitely gonna be pivoting pretty much straight to the Japanese product, because it's just, you don't see it around. You don't see it in stores. You really don't, especially around where I'm living right now. I don't see it. And so we'll dabble with some of the English stuff as we can get it for good prices. But the Japanese stuff, it's really easy to get right now for me. And I have a guy that provides it for a great price and also gets it to me really quick. So just more of that, throwing that in that store, and then also doing kind of the side things online on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, just doing all those different types of things is just gonna move products so fast. And also do these card shows. So he's giving me a nice list of those. Again, I can't thank him enough for helping me with all this stuff and getting me set up. But again, huge success with the card show. We'll more than likely be doing them again. And thank you guys for supporting this channel so much so far. Last video did great, and I'm sure this one will too. So thanks again, guys. Much love to you guys, and see you later.